Greetings. In your entrepreneurship journey, this topic that I'm going to discuss to you about, this is lecture 1. It is all about cash flow quadrant. Okay. Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. So basically, when you say quadrant, 4, okay, and cash flow, I want to emphasize that cash flow here talks about cash flow in, okay, so meaning it's, the money is coming in, because there are two kinds of cash flow. Okay, so I just want to be clear that when you say cash flow quadrant, here we're talking about cash flow in. Okay, kasulod ang kwarta. Okay, and then quadrant is this one, 1 2 3 4. So the first quadrant you have, this is when you say cash flow quadrant, by the way, you're talking about your means or your method of earning money. So the first method for you to earn your money is to become an employee. When you graduate in college, you will apply for a job, you will become an employee. Okay? And the next, on the next quadrant you have S. S stands for small business owner. Okay? Small business owner. And then for the B, you have the big business. And then for the I, you have investors or investor. Now, usually when you graduate from college, employee man ta, no? We become an employee. And as an employee, the concept here is your time, you render your service, equals money. So if you don't give time, if you don't have, let us say you're absent for that day, then you have no work, no pay. You're not going to be paid for that day because you did not render your time. Because as an employee, if you don't render your time, your service, then you don't have money. So basically it means that you don't have a leverage. Okay? Don't have a system. You just work. No work, no pay. Okay? Being an employee is good, especially if, for example, in the academe, for example, you're a doctor in the academe, PhD and everything, you're good because your income is, you're earning about 100,000 per month. That's not bad. Okay, so again, it is okay to become an employee. Okay, no problem with that. Okay, you have the benefits and everything, you have the security and all that stuff. Okay, so next you have the small business. Small business is somewhat similar with being an employee, but in another level. When you are in a small business, if you don't manufacture or you don't produce your goods for that day, then you don't have money. So you really have to produce. Okay, you have to be active for you to be able to generate money. So again, here you just have a minimal leverage. Okay, as a small business owner, you can hire 2 or more, 2 to 3 persons, your employee, to generate for you, to generate the goods, to manufacture, to deliver, etc., etc. Okay, so small business is good. Actually, it's, you can become employee at the same time you have a small business. That's okay. Okay, it's somewhat a. Now for the big business, you have a leverage already. because for a big business, according to Forbes magazine, you have to have a 500 employees. Okay, you have to have 500 employees, meaning you have plenty of leverage. Okay, the big business owner, like for example SM, they don't have to be there all the time because they have the leverage, they have the system below them. Okay, so they can generate income even if they're not there physically or active. They're not active. Okay, they're indirectly active. Okay, so as a big business owner like the SM, Ayala, you have leverage. Okay, and you have unlimited income. Diba? SM, for example, SM, they're earning millions. Okay, millions per month. Here, as an employee, you're just limited income. Okay, limited income. For small business, magyapon, this the same. Limited income. Okay, so here, this is another level. Big business is not for everybody. Okay, usually the people I know of, employees sila, at the same time they have a small business and then they invest. But this one is another thing. This is, you have to be tenacious, you have to have that driving force in you for you to be able to go to this level, this big business. Like for example, Microsoft, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Apple, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. Big business, not for everybody. Okay, and then here, investors, this is high leverage, because when you invest, it's it's like a corporation already. It is a different level. High leverage because you will own, if you have money, you buy that company. So basically you own that company, and which is usually corporation na siya. It is linked with other companies, so you have high leverage. Okay, again, you have unlimited income. Unlimited income gapon. Okay, it depends on you. Now, I just want to make it clear to you that cash flow, there are two types of cash flow. Okay, there are two types of cash flow. You have cash flow in and cash flow out. In or out. Okay? So, of course, klaro kayo, when you cash flow in is much better than cash flow out. Cash flow in will relate to assets, real assets. Cash flow out would mean liabilities, expenses, etc., etc. Okay, so if you would ask me, is it enough for you to stay in this quadrant as an employee in this day and age, in our time, in this time that we are in the world that we are in right now? It's not enough to be an employee. That is why we have the subject Technopreneurship. You can be an employee, at the same time you'll work on your small business, and perhaps even go to big business if you need to, and then you would invest in other things, invest in other companies, invest in real estate, etc. Okay, so employee, small business, big business, investor. For me, the best would be employee ka. You're an employee, at the same time you have a small business that you're working on, and you will invest in other things like invest in real estate, farm. For example, we have farm, rental units, condominiums, apartments. Okay. Investor. For example, I will give an example. I know somebody. He is an employee, but pagabot siyang bonus, when bonus no, na December bonus niya, he would put that money here. Iyang isulod sa investments. He would buy real estate, farm. Yeah, okay, farm ang iyang tirada. So he owns as is not na siya mga 10 hectares. Okay, so basically mas dako ang iyang net worth. Ang iyang net worth is bigger not because of his being an employee, but because he is an investor. Na siya farmland 10 hectares or more, dagan pa siya. Okay, so ina na siya. At the same time, aside from investing in farm, he started his own business na siya water station and buko station. Okay, so na siya small business, na siya tauhan, na siya 2 ka employee here, na siya 2 ka employee here, or 3. So small business. Okay, in short, basically when you are an employee ka, at the same time small business ka, and then ga-invest ka, you are now having a multiple source of income. Multiple sources of income. Dagan source. Naka sa real estate, naka farm, tamnan nimo ang farm nimo og kamatis. No, don't you know that, for example, the one that I gave an example to you, na siya farm, iyang gitamnan, dagan mo siya tanom, no, gitamnan. For example, tomatoes. Kanang isa ka box, 1 box, wooden box of tomato is equivalent to 1,000 pesos ang isa. So there was one time na siya 17 boxes. Na siya 17 boxes for disposal, iyang gibaligya sa market. So on that day, naka-earn siya og basically 17,000 pesos. So inana ka tsada ang investor. Taas kay kag leverage, no? Okay. That is just an example. So aside from this, again, na siya inani nga income sa investments, na apple siya small business, and then employee pa gid siya. So you have na siya multiple source of income. So having said that, taas siya chance or dako siya survival rate. He is doing well, no? Kaya niya because na siya real estate, na siya farm, na siya real assets. So real assets is very important. Now take note also that here on this quadrant here, kaning side, for you to produce income, you have to be active. Okay, active. If you're not active in producing, manufacturing your peanut butter or whatever business you're doing, if you don't generate, if you're not active, you don't have an income. If you don't work as an employee, no work, no pay. You don't have an income. In big business, even if you don't report for duty, since you have leverage, you have employees, you will generate income. As an investor, baligya lang ka, i-dispose ang kaning example nako, 1 box of tomatoes, 1,000 pesos na siya. So 17 boxes na siya, 17,000. So you can earn big here. And this is passive. When you say passive, don't get me wrong, when you say passive, it doesn't mean na magpaayahay na lang ka. No. When you say passive, you are maximizing your leverage. I-maximize mo leverage. Okay? Yan na. So, another question. Sir, is it possible that you would become a millionaire if naka sa small business? Employee ka and then small business lang, wala ka ni ambak diri sa big business, only you employee ka at the same time small business owner and then naka investments, would you become a millionaire? Yes. Again, I will give you another example. I have a classmate of mine. He is an employee until now, but he has a small business. Nga siya'y car rental business. Okay? He owns, I think daga na siya sakinan. He owns more than 100 vehicles, SUVs, mga sedan, mga Vios, mga Fortuner, Terra, no, dagan siya sakinan. Napay old mga daan ang sakinan for rental gyapon. Na siya car rental. Okay, and he's doing well. Silent lang siya, di man siya pang kay Chinese man siya. Hindi siya pang simple lang kayo, but I know he's generating more than enough. Actually, kanang iyang naman siya sa sales, no? As an employee, his employer doesn't know na naa siya inaning nga business, na siya car rental. Okay? Pero employee pa siya, nag-maintain siya as an employee sa sales. And then nag-start siya, nagtuk na siya car rental, and he's earning pila ang rental sa isa ka sakyanan per day. Kung SUV na siya sa mga 3,000 to 3,500 pesos per day, 24 hours. And then for small cars, na sa mga Vios for example, na 1.8. Imagine the car na siya 100 plus na. I'm not exaggerating, no? 100 plus na gidihang kuan sakyanan ani, sobra na daga na kaya siya na invest. And these are real assets because wala siya nagpalit og sakyanan for his personal use. Iyang gigamit ang sakyanan para to produce money. So he's earning, I mean, maybe siguro sa isa ka month he's earning from this alone, kaning iyang business, ng car rental business. He is earning millions. And then of course I'm aware na nag-invest po siya. So again, naa siya farm gyapon. Okay, so naa siya farm. Tamnan gyapon yung mga corn, sweet corn inana. So again, millionaire. Okay? Inana ang kuan. And based on the two examples, no, that I gave to you, whom I know, isa classmate na ako, isa pod kailagya pa nako. So inana. So being an employee is never enough. You just stay in this quadrant, okay lang siya. You can survive, but if you want to do better, then you have to start your own business, small business. If you want, you can go here, like pare nila SM, nila Henry C, nila Ayala, nila Mark Zuckerberg. You can go here. But the people that I know of who are silent millionaires, empleyado gid sila. Employee sila, but they invest their money to start their own business and to buy real estate, farms, rental units. Okay? So if you have questions, you can comment below. Okay, and then we will be discussing more of this in the coming lecture that I'm gonna upload. Okay, so thank you.